Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Blockbuster news to kick today off. Unreal in the grand scheme of things, but I do think this was expected at some point. I did say just not long ago, right? I think a couple of days ago, I said that I reckon it's over, right? Between Thomas Tuchel and Bayern Munich. Well, we now have official confirmation that has come out from a statement made by Bayern Munich saying that at the end of the season, Thomas Tuchel and Bayern Munich will be parting ways. So, another manager available on this fantastic merry-go-round. Bloody hell, the amount of managers that are going to be available this summer is ridiculous. Anyway, let's get right into it without further ado. Let's start cracking. Here's the latest on Thomas Tuchel. Official, Thomas Tuchel will leave Bayern Munich at the end of the season. Statement, our goal is to carry out a sporting orientation with a new coach with the 24-25 season. Until then, every individual in the club is expressly required to achieve the maximum possible in the Champions League and in the Bundesliga. I like how they didn't say we must win the Bundesliga. I think they've come to some sort of a realization that Alonso and Bayer Leverkusen are clear. But Champions League, yep, that is still something that they have to try and fight for properly. And that is the level and standard of Bayern Munich. You have to do that. So let's keep reading because there's more. Here's Fabrizio Romano. Official, Thomas Tuchel leaves FC Bayern at the end of the current season. Decision made by both club and head coach. Tuchel leaves Bayern in June. It's over between Bayern and Tuchel. And then we get into the ramifications of it all. Thomas Tuchel spoke himself, part of the statement. Here it is. Thomas Tuchel saying, we have agreed that we will end our collaboration after the end of this season. Until then, my coaching staff and I will of course continue to do everything we can to ensure maximum success for FC Bayern. You know what? I think this is relatively smart from Bayern Munich because it allows them to have the time to try and get a proper replacement in that they know works for them. Weirdly enough, Thomas Tuchel and Bayern Munich have just never clicked. And some will blame Thomas Tuchel for that based on what we are seeing from this Bayern Munich team. Some will blame what he actually has at his disposal. Some will blame Bayern Munich getting rid of Nagelsmann in the first place. Should that have even happened? No, but like I said, it's nothing to do with the football on that level. It was a lot more political, let's say, but personal between Nagelsmann and Bayern Munich. So there's that. Tuchel was available. At the time, it made sense, I guess, but it's just not worked out. So they give themselves time to try and find a proper replacement, but at the same time, this alleviates any pressure that's currently in the dressing room at Bayern Munich. And it allows all the players to go, okay, look, we might as well just get on with it because he's leaving at the end of the season. We might as well just do what we can do, I guess, right? And then at the end of the season, we'll figure it all out in terms of the new manager and when he comes in. But for any player in their mind who's concerned that they don't really want to play for Thomas Tuchel or anything, they know that he's gone. So you've basically got nothing to lose at this point. You know what I mean? You might as well just play and do it properly. And same goes for Thomas Tuchel. He's not got any pressure anymore. He might as well just give 200% and just try and end on a high, just on a footballing level. Do you know what I mean? At least just maybe for his CV. So for Bayern Munich, this is a good strategy. I feel like to end this amicably and to end this in a good way and then try and get the right decision made to who is going to come in June. Now, this I found interesting. Sam C report saying former Chelsea manager set to depart current club. He was interested in a number of Chelsea players. Okay. I don't really know who, except for Chalobah. We knew that Thomas Tuchel wanted Chalobah. But who else? I gotta say, listen, if Thomas Tuchel likes Chelsea players, then, listen, I know what everyone's gonna say, and trust me, I would. Bring Tuchel back to Chelsea, right? Chelsea, swallow your pride. Todd Bowley, swallow your pride. Egbali, swallow your pride. All of you, look, we made a gigantic mistake sacking him in the first place. Let's just put everything to one side, start afresh, give him his job back, and let's go on properly. And you know what? For the Chelsea fan base, you best believe that would actually unify everybody. It actually would, right? I'm not talking about like all the fans. I'm talking the fans with the club, with the manager, like everyone will end up being on the same page. Thomas Tuchel walks back into Chelsea tomorrow. Everyone will be like, okay, let's flipping go then. Let's do this. Let's pick up where we left off. Do you know what I mean? But we got to be honest here. I got to be real. I don't see a flipping chance in hell. I think Tuchel would have to be the last human being on the planet for Chelsea to consider going and getting him back. So I think it's similar to when Roman ended up... Well, Roman actually went and got Mourinho back. But it took 6 years. It took 6 years for that to happen. You know, for them to be able to sit down at a dinner table, which is what happened. Mourinho spoke about this, and it took 5 minutes, and they said, listen, do you want to come back? Do you want me back? Boom, boom. Okay, cool, let's do it. Done. You know, for Tuchel and this ownership to get to that point, I think it's going to take a while. To be fair, in hindsight, it's actually been a little while now, right? So I think... I would love to believe that we are in a world where this ownership would swallow their pride, but I just don't think they will. No chance. This is what I said yesterday. Mate, it's De Zerbi. Zerbi's going to be coming to Chelsea. So, we'll see. But what are the consequences of this entire news today of Thomas Tuchel leaving Bayern Munich? Well, Xabi Alonso is front page. Here it is. Florian Plettenberg saying, exclusive news, Xabi Alonso. The 42-year-old is now the absolute top candidate to replace Thomas Tuchel at the end of the season. An exclusive reveal today. Tuchel will leave Bayern at the end of the season. Following on from this, Fabrizio says Liverpool and FC Bayern remain both keen on appointing Xabi Alonso as new head coach at the end of the season. Discussions to follow. There's no formal release clause into his contract at Bayer Leverkusen, but he will be allowed to leave in case he decides to try a new chapter. I got to be honest, that's a really, really tempting state of affairs with Xabi Alonso. The fact that he's got no release clause, it's entirely up to him, his club's not holding him back, that is quite a lucrative thing to see for any club that are considering, Xabi Alonso might be the next best thing since sliced bread. So, what's going to happen there? Well, let's keep reading because... Jurgen Klopp is leaving Liverpool, so where is he going to end up? A lot of people, myself included, have thought maybe Bayern Munich? Maybe he goes back home? Maybe he takes Bayern? I feel like Bayern will be probably more stressful than Liverpool, so probably not best suited for him. But Florian Plettenberg illustrates why that is the case now. The possibility of Jurgen Klopp becoming the coach of FC Bayern in the summer is currently 100% ruled out, sources confirm. Klopp remains fully committed to taking a 1-year break. There you are. The man wants to have 1 year in peace. I told you, mate. Listen, I think it's not taken its toll, but I feel like it's a very stressful environment to be in. You know, the top level and competing for trophies, season in, season out. It's not easy. On a mental level, it's not. You've got to be solid. And he has been solid up until now when he realises, I need a break. So he's going to take a break. Bayern Munich would be even more stressful, if I'm being completely honest. Look at Thomas Tuchel. His record isn't actually bad, but it's underperforming considering to what Bayern are used to. So, you know what I mean? If you rock up to any other club and you tell them, I've got a 65% win percentage, they're going to be like, yeah, mate, congrats, keep going. Bayern Munich, sorry, mate, it's not enough. It's not enough, mate. But 65, rookie numbers. You got to up them, as they said in The Wolf of Wall Street. You got to up those numbers. It's not enough. I need 80. You know, so listen, that's the situation. Jurgen Klopp, no chance. But back to Alonso. Florian Plettenberg illustrates exactly this as well. Here we go. Bayern Munich have already contacted Xabi Alonso's representatives. However, the Spaniard is now fully focused on Leverkusen's title charge. Nevertheless, Bayern feel they have a good to very good chance of getting Alonso in the summer. Liverpool are also interested. This is going to be a very interesting battle to see who's going to end up with Alonso. It's going to be one of them. Liverpool or Bayern Munich. I still think Liverpool, because the Premier League is the Premier League. And he's played at those clubs. Right? You can stick Real Madrid in this equation too, but Real Madrid have Carlo Ancelotti. There's no way that Carlo is leaving. He signed a new deal. But he understands what English football is like, what Spanish football is like, and what German football is like. So as a manager, he understands what environment he would like to thrive in. And I just think the Premier League is the Premier League. If you make it as a manager in the Premier League, then, you know, you're creme de la creme. Look at Pep. You know, it's funny. A lot of managers have actually made their ways here to the top level here, you know, illustrating that they are the best in the Premier League. You know, Sir Alex hasn't gone anywhere else. He done it here. Arsene Wenger came to Arsenal. He done it here. Jose Mourinho, successful at Porto, but then cemented himself at Chelsea. Jurgen Klopp really cemented himself properly at Liverpool. Pep has come to City and boom, the brightest chapter of his career. This is the place to be. So Xabi Alonso, I think, will probably put Liverpool as number one, but Bayern Munich definitely under consideration. Where do you think he'll end up? Let me know. I've seen some Chelsea fans, specifically, because it's Thomas Tuchel, say, listen, I hope Xabi Alonso goes to Liverpool. I actually hope, because I don't want Liverpool taking Tuchel, which is actually true. I don't want Liverpool taking Tuchel. And that is a possibility now. If Alonso ends up somehow going to Bayern Munich and Liverpool need a manager, why not replace Klopp with someone very reminiscent, Thomas Tuchel? So, yeah. What do you think? Let me know. Let's move to Chelsea affairs. We've got one player who's now under consideration by a couple of clubs. Interesting this. Here's Nizar Kinsella. Paris Saint-Germain are admirers of Chelsea defender Levi Colwill. Chelsea remain adamant they will not entertain offers for the 20-year-old who signed a new 6-year deal last summer and is happy at Stamford Bridge. There is more in relation to Levi Colwill. PSG and Liverpool are both tracking Levi Colwill in case Chelsea are forced to sell more academy players to help them balance the books. Chelsea remain adamant they will not entertain offers for him and the players happy at Chelsea. You see, this is why. And actually, let me double down on this. Check this out. Suitors for Levi Colwill hope Chelsea's continued underperformance will force them to keep selling academy players to balance the books. This is why. On a financial level, like I've said, you can still make profits without winning. You can do more if you are winning, right? But as a consequence, we know this ownership are about the bread and butter. We are about, you know, the spongoolies. They are about the money. The first players they would entertain to leave the club are the academy players because they generate pure profit. So this is where I'm saying this strategy that we're going down, trying to be Brighton, is not sustainable. People are going to say it's the most sustainable model in the long term. I disagree. If a club like Chelsea are not putting themselves in position to win trophies, they're going to end up losing these sort of players. Players like Levi Colwill. Some players don't rate Levi Colwill. I rate Levi Colwill. He's got tons to do. Don't get me wrong. He's nowhere near the finished article. But I think Levi Colwill, as a centre-back, you give him enough time now. At the top level, I think he'll thrive. Funnily enough, I think he suits Liverpool too. A lot. That's under Jurgen Klopp though. But you get the gist. So I wouldn't absolutely consider selling Levi Colwill. Hell no. Especially now if we've, hopefully, if we found something clicking. Fingers crossed. There's a centre-back pairing starting to form. I've said Chelsea need to find a proper centre-back pairing and stick with it and run with it. It's their base. It's the base of any team. You need to have two centre-backs that are starting week in, week out. Even if they're playing every 3 days, they are the two centre-backs. Is it going to be Levi Colwill and Disasi? Is that it? Maybe. I would not sell Levi Colwill. But if this continues, right, this financial situation, ending up mid-table, season in, season out, who else is going to generate value? No one except the academy players, because they're pure profit. Do you see the problems here? So we need to make sure we are getting in players that are going to help Chelsea in the short term. Cement at least the minimum guarantee. That way, for players like Levi Colwill, we buy ourselves some time. You can't just rely on a bunch of young players. This is what I'm saying. You can't do it. It's not sustainable. It's never been done. So I don't understand the logic on Chelsea's part here. I really don't. Anyway, that's the latest on Levi Colwill in terms of possibly going, well, why clubs would want to come in and why it seems like they're waiting to see what's going to happen. Nizar Kinsella has clarified things here. PSG are among the admirers of Levi Colwill. Chelsea will not entertain offers for the 20-year-old who is happy at Stamford Bridge, but he remains a player with a huge market. Of course he does. Of course he does, for the reasons explained. Ben Jacobs has come and illustrated his 2 cents on this situation. PSG, like Liverpool, appreciate Levi Colwill. Chelsea will auto-dismiss any offers. Colwill has zero interest in leaving. PSG are prepared to play the long game. It might be one to watch in 2025 if Chelsea's project doesn't go to plan. But right now, Colwill is untouchable. There we are. In the same way that right now, Reece James is untouchable. But we can't be naive. If Chelsea go a 3rd season, mid-table, and then knock, knock, open the door. Oh, crap, it's Real Madrid. Yo. And then they're like, hola, amigo. Reece, here's the money. Reece James, come. Come, amigo, come. Then what are we going to do then? You best believe at that point, I think Reece James will be like, sorry, lads, I'm out. PSG then come knocking. Knock, knock. Bonjour. Hey, Levi. Viens ici. What are we going to do then? Because these players are not stupid. They have to consider their futures. If there's not any levels, if there's no progress, if we're not going anywhere, they're going to be like, well, I might go to somewhere where I am going to move somewhere, where I am going to get up to a standard, where I am going to possibly be winning things, where I'm going to get more money too. Do you see the problems that can come from the way we're doing our strategy right now? Chelsea need to fix up. Let's wait and see. I wouldn't blame these clubs for playing the long game because it's a possibility. Now, to wrap up, news on Mbappe. Unsurprisingly, here it is. Kylian Mbappe's move to Real Madrid is all but finalised. Just needs detail sorting out and then it will be signed. PSG and Mbappe will announce his departure as soon as he signs the Real contract. And that is going to be done possibly if it becomes impossible for PSG and Real Madrid to bump into each other in the Champions League. So don't expect this anytime soon, unless if one of them get knocked out immediately. And if that does happen, then we'll probably get the green light. But Mbappe to Real Madrid, happening. Finally, it's happening. So what do you think is going to happen there? Do you think it's the right move for him? What do you expect to see of Mbappe at Real Madrid? And I will see all of you later on for video number 2. So make sure you guys are glued. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Much appreciated. See you a lot later on this evening. Check out the socials. They are on screen. My Younes Talks Football socials and my personal ones, all in the description, including the brand new Younes Talks Football TikTok. Make sure you are there. New content being added daily. So make sure to check it out. Thank you very much. And I will see all of you later on for video number 2. In a bit, people. Take care. See you later and peace.